It's time for the thought for the day. So, no, I'm not outside walking around like normal. It's freezing out there. So I'm sitting in my car, in my driveway, because I'm still going to take a walk. I just didn't want to hold my hand up because it will freeze in the weather. But so in the car, it's nice and toasty. So here we are, thought for the day. So this morning I was thinking about my mom's birthday. It's coming up in a few days. And every year, she lives out of state, by the way, every year I send her flowers. And I started to think about those interactions that I have with her and how I really don't have a consistent pattern of communication with her. It's just kind of random. She'll call me or I'll call her, but there's not really anything consistent except for those flowers. Every year for her birthday, I send her those flowers. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know I would probably maybe expect them if they didn't show up one year. I wonder what that would feel like to her if for some reason those flowers didn't actually show up one year. So anyway, on top of that, I started thinking about our children. We have 4 children. And so I talk to my daughters more than I talk to my sons. But every weekend I make it a point to call all of my children, all 4 kids. But during the week, my daughters both have children. And so I like to see the grandchildren. So I call them quite a bit. And thank God for FaceTime and technology because we can see each other and interact. So every weekend, my kids know they're going to get a phone call from me and they can choose not to answer it if they want to, but they always do. And we always have wonderful things to talk about. But fortunately with technology, I also get to see and talk to them during the week too, if they choose to call me or I choose to call them. But we've got kind of a regular pattern and it's pretty substantive because we always talk about what's going on in our lives and kind of fill each other's cups with laughter and just life events and things. And we love the interactions. And then I started thinking about my husband's patterns. Every single morning, he calls his brother that lives in Michigan. Every morning on his way to work. And every afternoon on his way home from work, he calls me. And there have been times when he didn't call me on his way home from work, and I actually got concerned and a little panicked. And I'll text or call him to be like, hey, are you okay? And sometimes he stays late for work or he has a meeting that goes long, but I always check it out because he's consistent in his interaction with me and his pattern of regularly calling me every day when he comes home from work. So this also made me start thinking about our students and what kind of interactions they get when they're fully online or even in a hybrid class. When students first come up in the K through 12 system or homeschooling or whatever method that they got their academic education, those interactions are regular and face-to-face typically in those first formative years. But a lot of times people come to college and they might take a face-to-face course here and there where we will have conversations. But the first hybrid course where you have the interactions in the course and then the rest of the time is online, sometimes self-confidence issues might kick in. Because now the interactions, I'm not there in front of my professor to ask a question. Or if I'm fully online, I might not really understand the instructions and really be too scared to send the email to ask. But in a classroom, someone else might ask the question that I had, which will provide an answer for me. And online, I might be too scared to reach out to my instructor. The dynamic turns a little bit and it becomes different. So I was thinking about, as instructors, what do we do to interact with our students constantly to let them know that we're there, to give them regular interactions, to make them feel safe and secure and to help them find success? What do we do and how do we do it? Which goes back to my mom. I know I'm going to order the flowers for her, but I've really been thinking hard today about how can I make regular interactions with her verbally? Because I really do like my mom and I like having conversations with her. And honestly, as she's getting older, she probably would love to hear from me a little bit more. So I think I'm going to find a way to schedule her into all of my weekend calls. And maybe I'll even pop some random phone calls to her or FaceTimes with her during the week just to mix it up a little bit. Because I know I feel happier with my kids doing it. And I know she would probably feel the same, just like our students. Well, they feel a little more connected too when we do things like that for them. So anyway, that was my thought today of the whole day and how it comes in a full circle, not just with family, but with our students and everything that we're doing. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, stay warm. Bye.